Today, we'll be looking at more interesting TikTok facts that you should probably know before you go.
You can rent this entire country. For $70,000 a night, you can rent out Liechtenstein, allowing you to change its currency, customize the street signs,
whole
and
country.
bring over 150 friends to party the night away. Not only can you practically do whatever you like, nothing illegal of course, imagine being treated like a king. Rappers like Snoop Dogg have attempted to do this. If you want to rent out this country, hit the follow.
Secret movie details that you will not be able to unsee. Q Edition. During the filming of Spider-Man Homecoming, Michael Keaton, who played Vulture, would whisper to Tom Holland, "I'm Batman," during fight scenes. And Tom says this was quite distracting given that Keaton had previously played Batman in films. In 22 Jump Street, Jonah Hill was attacked by a parrot during the car chase scene, and his reaction was 100% genuine. He later said, "That was not acting, I do not like birds." The director of the movie Mad Max had his wife Margaret edit the film. He said that since she had never done it before, it wouldn't turn out like all the other action movies. And Margaret later went on to win an Oscar for her editing in the film.
It might let my wife edit my next video. Might be the best one yet.
If you made it this far, you're probably a movie buff and looking for your next film to watch. I actually got all these movie recommendations from my friends on the Q app, so hit the link in my bio and follow me on Q so I can see what you watch.
Crazy facts that will blow your mind. Part 33. Google hires people to ride camels for the desert street view. If you're too drunk or violent in Japan, the police capture you and roll you into a small burrito, then they carry you away. You're 50 times more likely to be killed by bees than win the lottery.
Not so fun
Dang,
facts
messed up.
you'll regret learning.
Thought I would
Part
win the lottery
8.
one day.
Firstly, in 1783, a boy was born with two heads, one on top of the other, and it was claimed that the second head had a fully functional brain and whispered random stuff to the other brain. Next, a woman once caught her boyfriend cheating thanks to a Fitbit because she got a notification saying that he burned 500 calories at 2 a.m. Now, have you ever wondered what happens to your blood after you die? Well, it's typically drained down this sink and it goes straight into the water treatment plant. Remember that the next time you take a shower. Moving on, in
Everything
1884, a priest in Germany saved a 4-year-old boy from drowning, and the boy's name was Adolf Hitler. And finally, hating the sound of someone breathing or eating is called misophonia, and it's an actual brain disorder.
The dumbest ways that people have died, part 26. The year for this incident was 2004, and a man decided that he wanted to buy a lava lamp. If you've never owned a lava lamp, it takes quite a while to get the heat going to where you can actually see the bubbles going up and down, and this guy got impatient. So in an effort to heat up the lava lamp a little bit quicker, he decided to place it on top of his stove, and he turned the heat up to high. This turned out to be an awful idea, and a fatal one at that. The lava lamp ended up exploding, sending a shard of glass shooting straight into his chest. He ended up bleeding out on scene.
Death
I
by
guess the
lava
moral
lamp.
of the story is, don't get impatient when heating up a lava lamp. Follow for part 27.
3 companies that control the world. Number 3, Amazon. Amazon is one of the most popular brands in the world with the biggest database.
I mean, who wouldn't guess that? Literally everybody orders from Amazon. I could drive down any street and I'll see an Amazon package on somebody's door.
Of any e-commerce store. The company has more servers than any other website and keep track of all their customers via their strong AI capabilities. Number 2, Saudi Aramco. This state company from Saudi Arabia controls 20% of all the oil in the world. The company makes profits of nearly $350 billion every single year.
That's
Aramco
crazy.
has the ability to cause economic recessions worldwide, should it decide to raise oil prices. Number 1, Lockheed Martin. This defense company has profited from nearly every war that America has played a part in recently. The company also has major influence over government contracts and have been known to bribe public officials from departments like NASA, FBI, and the CIA.
Top 3 animals you'll probably never see. Number 3, the barrel-eye fish. Considering only 19 have ever been spotted in the wild. And you'd have to somehow just be chilling 2,500 feet underwater off the Pacific Ocean to ever see it. And if it ever washed up on shore, it resembles a soggy piece of jerky more than a fish, so. Number 2, the Ethiopian wolf. These are very isolated animals that are found in less than 10 relatively small areas. There's as few as 200 left in the world, and even if you somehow find yourself on top of a mountain in Ethiopia with binoculars, there's a good chance that's just a regular schmegular dog. As of recent with DNA testing, it's been found that some domesticated dog males have been sneaking out at night and getting jiggy with the female wolves, creating some half-breed. And number 1, it ranks number 9 from the top 10 species at risk from climate change. They were once found on the entire island of Kauai, but after massive deforestation and rising temperatures, the Akikiki, who needs a cool forest canopy Trippy to survive, is now confined to just a single plateau. In 2021, after a full year of searching, only 3 mating pairs can be found, and could quite possibly be the 34th bird species to go extinct on the island since the arrival of the Europeans. If so, like this last surviving Kauai o'o, the Akikiki will call out for his mate, and there'll be no one left to answer.
What is that?
Welcome back to this episode of What the Fuck Is That?
Right.
I present to you the next topic of conversation with your therapist, the tentacle moth. With 6 legs, 2 antennas, and 4 furry appendages sprouting from its bunda, it is the newest viral fear of the internet.
That thing
This
is
insect
crazy.
is known as Cretondus gangis, loosely translated to hellspawn. Now yes, as you probably guessed it, these creatures are indeed found in Australia.
I would have seen that
Still
and thought
never
Stranger
going there.
Things.
But not only that, Southeast Asia also has the pleasure. Now the furry tentacles aren't just nightmare fuel, they do serve a purpose. That being, at the very tip of these appendages, pheromones are released. The moth does this in hopes it will find a mate. Think of it like moth Tinder. Now no, apart from mentally, physically it poses no real threat to humans. This is, however, unless you eat multiple of them and then they become poisonous.
Why would you
But
eat
to
that?
be fair, how hungry you gotta be? It looks like it's straight out of the knockoff of 50 Shades of Moth. Yo!
3 countries where billionaires hide their wealth. Number 3, Cayman Island. Cayman Island is a small
y'all ever
nation
get
in the
rich,
Caribbean,
this the one
famous
for y'all.
for being a tax haven. There are no property taxes, corporate taxes, or withholding taxes. This country is famous with the American elites, who register their companies as being from Cayman Island. Number 2, Hong Kong. Hong Kong allows foreign investors to charge 0 value-added tax and 0 corporate tax for transactions outside the border. Hong Kong has attracted many high-net-worth individuals to invest in the country. Hong Kong has nearly 100 global billionaires operating there. Number 1, Switzerland. The Swiss have very strict privacy laws, allowing the super wealthy to store their money in the vaults of Swiss banks. The Swiss government also have really low rates of taxation. Swiss privacy rules have cost other countries nearly $13 billion of loss.
Don't they make
Here's
like
some facts
Rolexes
that
in
you never
Switzerland
knew
too?
that could save your life one day. I hope you never need this video, but just in case you do, hit the favorite button so you'll always know what to do in these situations. Alright, first up, if your microwave is broken, don't try and fix it yourself. Even if
What?
it has been unplugged
Who
for
did that?
days, it will still hold a strong enough current that will send you straight to God. If your pupils don't dilate to the same size, there's a chance you have brain damage. The British are gonna love this one. Tea bags actually stop bleeding. I'm not kidding. Chemically, they contain something that is known as tannin, which has the ability to clot your blood. If you wake up and your house smells of gas, do not turn on a light switch. Actually, you know what? Don't touch anything that goes, because one spark from that light switch will blow up your entire house and will be the quickest way to start shaking hands with your ancestors. Now quickly send this to a friend because this video could save their life one day.
Dirty animal facts that biology class definitely didn't teach you. Part 1. Diego. The unstoppable sex tortoise, who is 100 years old, lives on the Galapagos archipelago and has fathered over 800 tortoises.
Big
When a
pops.
male anglerfish meets a female, he fuses with her body, donating his brain, heart, and eyes, pretty much becoming a pair of testicles dangling from her body. Hey darling, nice testes. In 1912, biologists had to cover up the first published studies of penguins after observing them being the literal worst. Male on male penguin action, male on dead penguin action, male on unwilling female penguin action. Oh, an action in exchange for
And penguins
pebbles.
is
If Finding
ruthless.
Nemo was scientifically accurate, Marlin would have just changed into a female clownfish and mated with Nemo after his mother's death. Nemo! Oh, and fish don't talk, but more importantly, the whole change.
2022 just got even crazier. Part 45. Firstly, an artificial intelligence was asked to produce what the last selfies on Earth would have looked like, and this is the results. It's a lot more horrifying than I would have imagined. Do
That
you guys
is
think this
crazy.
is accurate? Next, just this week, a massive sinkhole has mysteriously appeared in Chile near a mine. It's 650 feet deep and 80 feet wide. And locals are quite anxious about this because it's active and still growing.
What you doing
Now,
if you
after
see that?
Warner Bros. Spent nearly $100 million on making the movie Batgirl, they started testing it to audiences July 14th, but the response back was very bad. In fact, it was so bad, they decided to cancel the entire movie. I kinda wanna see it now.
Me
Finally,
too.
in 2013, a man accidentally threw away a drive that had 175 million Bitcoin on it.
I heard
He
about
now
this.
has to spend 11 million on robot dogs and humans to go to the landfill and find.
If you ever need to break into a car window, aim for the corners and edges, not the center where the glass is the strongest. Also, if you are ever trapped in a car, the headrest poles are made of a material that are designed to break windows. If you are trapped in a fire in a building, get low. That's where the most breathable air is gonna be. You need to chew the aspirin if you take one thinking you're having a heart attack. If your garage door needs maintenance, leave it to the professionals. Garage door springs can kill you if you remove them the wrong way. Keep a survival candle in your car in colder areas. The heat from one candle can keep you from freezing to death for as long as it's lit, which could be up to 36 hours. Condoms can actually be a quick, easy way to store liquids. They can actually hold up to a gallon of water, and they are waterproof, so you can store things like matches or electronics, things you normally wouldn't think to get wet. If you are choking or having a heart attack while you're driving, get out of your car. You can't signal to anyone if you're unconscious in your car, but if you lop over the side of the trunk, people are gonna notice. If your car is stuck on a train track, run in the direction of the train itself. If you run in the same direction that the train is traveling in, you will be hit by the debris of your former car. Don't walk downstairs with your hands in your pockets. When crying for help, try and call out specific people like, "Hey you, in the red, I'm getting mugged." You also could just yell fire because people will definitely turn and look to see something burning. Use this helpful rhyme if you ever run into a bear. If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, good night. Never mix bleach and ammonia. The result of mixing them is a poisonous gas, and this will kill you. If someone grabs you by the arm, don't pull away. Twist your arm instead, because your arm can twist in all different directions, but their wrists can't. If you've gone 2.5 days without water, and your only options are don't drink water or drink contaminated water, you need to drink the contaminated water. If you don't, you'll definitely die. Most of the diseases that you will get from bad water may take a couple days to set in, which will give you more time to find help. If you ever, for some reason, ingest a bunch of windshield wiper fluid, drink a lot of vodka with it. That way it'll prevent your kidneys from shredding and give you more time to go to the hospital. No matter how thirsty you are, do not eat large amounts of snow. Too much cold ice in your stomach could make you die from hypothermia on the inside. Melt the ice and then drink it. Use your jeans as a life preserver in water by tying the legs together and putting air in it. Always keep a card in your wallet with your blood type and allergies. Flammable and inflammable mean the same thing. Cyanide smells like bitter almonds. Get away from anywhere that smells like that. If your belly hurts on your lower right side, push down on your lower left side. If that produces more pain, it's likely appendicitis. If you think your home is haunted and you've been seeing or hearing a presence, get a carbon monoxide detector. You may be hallucinating and this could be lethal. If you're trying to get through a door in a house fire, put your hand over the door with the back side of your hand first. If it's burning hot, you will have only burned the back side of your hand and can still grip things while you're escaping. Even better, just hover your hand over, and that way you could feel if there's something warm behind it. 30 years ago, you had about 17 minutes to escape a house fire. Today, you'd have about 3 minutes because newer homes and furniture burn faster. Follow for more facts that could save your life one day.
If you kill a murderer, the number of murderers hasn't decreased. Hey, I'm Jaku and welcome to Trippy Thoughts. If someone says they're cooler than you, then that makes you hotter than them. What if your dog one day just randomly said nobody is going to believe you and never spoke again? Now come to think about it, does anyone actually remember the last few seconds before they go to sleep? Only 1 out of 200 people can type silly sausage slammer with their eyes closed. Even though up and down are opposites, the phrases "I'm up for it" and "I'm down for it" mean the same thing. If you think of the unthinkable, doesn't that make it thinkable? An alarm clock is something we get angry at when it does its job and also when it doesn't. Netflix needs an incognito mode so we can watch terrible films without getting recommended more terrible films. Tag a friend.
I don't think people
You just blew my mind with those.
how dominant orcas are. It's not just the fact that they weigh 8,000 pounds or that they can swim 35 miles an hour, but they're also one of the most intelligent creatures on the planet. And they hunt in packs. You want to see how they hunt? Check it out. Basically, Literally, they swim in perfect unison, send a perfect wave, knock the seal off, and there's an orca waiting on the other side.
Oh yeah, they some gangsters.
Ice, they'll literally drag it out into open water. That's what I would do. They think like us. They're also known to kick great white sharks out of their hunting zone to take over all the food. They're also the only creature in the ocean known to attack blue whales. Other creatures can't figure out how to deal with a blue whale, but orcas learned that if they swim 35 miles an hour straight into its organs, that works.
Yo, that's crazy. I never really knew that about an orca. You know, people call them killer whales, but I don't think they're killers like that. But apparently, they must be some killers like that. They smart. Guys, these are some of the most interesting TikTok facts that you need to know before you go. If you like the content, don't forget to subscribe, turn your notification bell on, and until next time, YouTube, peace.